Hey guys, it's John. You're on the JRB Tree Climbing channel. Let's talk about saddles. I'm wearing the new Land Baron saddle from our friends at Ape Canyon Outfitters. Now first, when you watch this video, you're going to see a little item on the top of the screen that says include paid promotion. What that means is I didn't pay for this saddle. Anytime a content provider like me gets something of value for free, like this saddle, we have to disclose that. So that's what that means. But I wanted to check out the saddle. I've been enjoying my relationship with Ape Canyon and enjoying their new designs, and I wanted to get one of these. I want to thank them for comping me one of these saddles. And I didn't just get it out of the box and create this video. I've been hunting in it for a couple of weeks. I got a couple of tags filled with it, and I wanted to talk to you about it. So first off, this saddle is an entry-level saddle at an incredible price. We all might have slightly different priorities for our saddles. If you go to my website and you look at the page for saddles, I've written down what my priorities are. My priorities might be a little bit different, or they might be in a different order. But the number one priority for me for a saddle is something that is of really high quality. And it's tied to number two, which is the supplier and the brand. Ape Canyon Outfitters has been in the climbing, rope, rescue, and arbor business for 40 years. I know I'm going to get something that's well made and well tested. But of course, it's important that we're getting a saddle that's comfortable. Now, comfort can conflict with other priorities. We might pay more for a more comfortable saddle. It might be bigger, it might be heavier. We'll get into more about comfort in future videos, but a lot of comfort is really just being able to redistribute your weight. Like right now, I've got no weight on the bottom bands because my feet are up on the tree. And by the way, I'm very comfortable. Oh, and I've got a back band, and I can put that back band wherever I want it. I could ride it low, I could ride it up through my bridge loops. And in a different position, I can transfer my weight now so that there's no tension on the waist belt and it's all down here. We can simply mix it up. We'll talk more about comfort, but your saddle's got to be comfortable and you've got to be capable of getting comfortable. In terms of a single panel saddle like this one, two of the most important attributes are if we got enough room from the top of the waist belt to where the leg straps attach, and I do. Too much is going to be too baggy walking around, and too little simply going to be uncomfortable. We also don't want to be able to feel only the bands. If you have a saddle where the mesh, let's say, is too stretchy or the fabric is too stretchy, that might sound like a good idea, but it's really not. We want something with a fairly rigid panel, and this has that. My next priority is I want something made in the USA. That's me. You might not care about that, so you do your homework and you set your priorities. But I like the fact that these saddles are made right here in Pennsylvania. I visited the shop and I've spoken to the people who make these high quality products. I just like that. Size versus weight versus bulk. Let's just say there's trade-offs, right? If I could get a saddle that's 5 times bigger and 5 times heavier and I was super comfortable, not quite sure I'm going to enjoy walking a mile with that. So there's a trade-off there. It's a balance. And lastly, cost. For me, cost is not the most important factor. I will pay more for all of those other features. But that's where this gets crazy. This saddle is incredibly inexpensive. I'm not going to quote the price right now because I want this video to stand the test of time, and prices could change over the years. So check my website, jrbtreeclimbing.com, go to the saddles page, and look at the discount that I can get you on this saddle. The price point of this simply is going to open up saddle hunting for a number of you. If you're just thinking about getting into saddle hunting and the price point is prohibitive, all we need is the Land Baron saddle and a good rope system, perhaps a platform, and we could do an awful lot of successful hunting. And you might just be interested in helping out a friend. Holiday season's coming around. We want to get one for our spouse or a friend who we're concerned about their climbing safety. Let's get them a saddle. A saddle can be used in conjunction with any kind of tree climbing. See my work on how I use it with a ladder stand. I no longer use fall arrest harnesses, not because they're not a good safety device. It's simply because I can do better with a saddle and a well-managed slack profile, and I can get myself out of any situation. Okay, so the way that you run your saddle might be a little different. I tend to like my bridge a little long, and you might like yours a little short. I like to have two bridges. An important feature for me is also the ability to customize my saddle for my needs. And I've done that here. I've got two bridges on this. I'm going to step down and give you a closer look. I'd like to customize my saddle with two bridges. I like my long bridge really long, such that I can run it over my head and turn it into effectively a pair of suspenders. I like to outfit my saddle with saddlebags on both sides, and I took the factory bridge and I turned it into my short bridge. Let's get a little closer look. Okay, on each side of the saddle, and this is a unique feature, I've not seen this on another saddle before, but we have two independent bridge loops. We have this outer and longer one and this inner and shorter one. And I've simply affixed my short bridge to the inner one and my long bridge to the outer one. You want to know about my different bridge designs, go see the website. But the bridge is customizable. Let's talk about the buckles. So the buckles on the saddle are a frame buckle. They're really light. And again, this might have to do with your style. But when I take off and put on my saddle, all I do is loosen the waist belt. That's all I do. There's just no sense in anything else. It's really easy to take on and put off. You just got to make sure you isolate the leg for each one. All I have to do is put it on like a pair of baggy pants and cinch the waist belt shut. If you want a waist belt that's disconnectable, they've got saddles for that. I prefer to save that cost and to save that bulk and have a more simplistic saddle. It's a single panel design, and this fabric, like I said, is rather strong, and therefore it absorbs more weight, and I feel the straps even less. It is not available at this time in a camo color. You'll have to watch the website if that's changing in the future. But what a great design for a minimal saddle. I like to have gear bags on both sides. They have these molly loops, so you simply pop them through. This is like an older design, and this is the one that matches the saddle. And of course, matching isn't that important. And in terms of other important accessories, I like to have a back band. Here's the one that comes with the Land Baron. This happens to be a large. It's too large for me. I need something that's even smaller. So this is a different design, a different product, but this is a smaller one. I like to have a back band that I can modify, customize, so I can open it and run it down here for a lower back support. And if I want to, I can lengthen it and run it off of my bridge. So I'm not much for endorsements or commercials, but I do like the saddle, and I wouldn't be doing this video if I wasn't willing to stand by that claim. So I look forward to what's to come in the future in terms of new designs and improvements to existing designs from Ape Canyon. Like everything, we're always evolving, we're always moving forward, we're always trying to get better, we're trying to get safer, and we're trying to get more comfortable. But you can take this to the bank. You're not going to find a better saddle at this price point and made in the USA. Thank you very much.